Hey guys, I know I'm a couple of minutes late, but I had to help little man with his homework. And as we know, mommy duties come first. Okay. All right. So I see the room is filling up. So guys, if you're new and you plan on sticking around, just, give a quick hello. All right, so I can say hello to you. Hi, Stella. Hi, Mimi. How are you? So just so we get let it be known for anyone who's joining for the very first time and is not sure what this live is about. This is a community. It's a live chat for the survivor community of narcissistic abuse and domestic abuse. Okay, so if you're interested in sticking around, please just say hello so I can be sure to say hello to you. Hi, Charles. How are you? Hi, Tamara. So we're looking pretty good so far, guys. So nice to see you guys here. Hi, Earthquake. How are you, sweetheart? We got eBerry. Palmerin92. How are you? Kathy. We have Hair Boss from Chicago. Nice to see you, sweetheart. Oh, Mimi, thank you. And I hope, I hope my content is helping you. I hope my content is helping anybody who needs it. I know it's a struggle. I know it's hard. I know the going through the motions, it just really, really is hard. Hi, Cubanita. How are you, sweetheart? Um, okay, I'm trying hard not to curse, so Mr. F up, nice to see you. I'm doing good, Cubanita. Doing really, really good. Thank you, sweetheart. It's a good day. Today is Tuesday, right? I'm losing track of my days, guys. Today is Tuesday. Oh, country girl, you are country club girl, I'm sorry. You are so very welcome. And let's see. I've been trying to contact you concerning your extended car warranty. I've been getting those calls too. I've been getting a lot of those calls too. Somebody called me one time and said we're calling about your Toyota, and then we're calling about. I'm like, I don't have a. Do you want to give me a car? Give me a car. Oh my gosh. We have Aubrey from Utah. Hi, sweetheart. Ah, from the UK, Mia 22. Welcome. Hi, Sophia. You're new. Well, guess what, sweetheart? You're here. You're part of the fam. So get acquainted and get comfortable. For backup, how are you, sweetheart? Cindy Rain Rivera. Hi. Ah, Carmelita, what is your topic for today? My topic for today, guys, what I wanted to talk about in the midst of course, answering questions, I wanted to talk about grandiose narcissism versus vulnerable narcissism, okay? And the reason I wanted to talk about it was because I know a lot of people have different relationships that they deal with, and, with regards to different types of narcissists. So, I know that a lot of subjects, a lot of different channels, a lot of different people cover certain subjects and aspects, but I like to dissect, okay? I like to really go deep and separate. So I like to categorize what needs to be categorized so you guys know how to identify certain behaviors and, certain things. Oh, Jay Cash, I just got into a fight with my narcissist husband and you came across my page. Confirmation, sweetheart. Confirmation. Yes, you do, honey. Yes, you do. If you know for a fact this person is a narcissist, and Zeno, Frenchie, no, honey, I'm not a narcissist. If I was, I wouldn't be giving a damn, and I really wouldn't be here wasting time, would I? No, I'm not a narcissist. I'm a very, very humbled, loving, caring, kind person who looks to help other people because I know what it feels like to go through the pain that a lot of people have gone through. So there's your answer. Um, Moon, my contacts are going different ways. In case you guys don't know, I am legally blind through one eye. Okay, so with that being said, if anybody has anything else they want to say about it, I'm a very transparent person. I do not have time to play these games, so I'm gonna let that be known right now. All right, you come into my chat room, you start talking it, and I'm gonna throw it back. And trust me, y'all can throw stones, but I throw bricks. So I am legally blind through one eye. I've made that clear and as transparent as I am. One eye goes one way and the other one goes the other way because I got to keep an eye on all my shit. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. I thank you, Dazzle. I thank you, sweetheart. So, guys, I'm gonna go back. X Benz, thank you, my love. Thank you. Oh yeah, no, I don't listen. My confidence, bulletproof. Bulletproof. So I've come to learn that when it comes to social media, everybody can show different sides of themselves, and social media definitely. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. I thank you so much. Everybody shows themselves, and of course, social media has a real big way of creating bullies and creating people that are just as awesome as you guys, and just showing the love. So I thank you so much. So anybody who throws shade or tries to throw, some kind of nonsense my way, that's fan behavior. Just so we understand, okay? So I'm gonna get into it with you guys. I see you guys popping up and with the questions. So I'm gonna go into it with you. So first things first, guys, I'm gonna answer any questions you may have, and we're gonna really talk about some really good stuff today. Throw up those purple hearts for awareness, narcissistic abuse awareness, domestic abuse awareness. Okay, giving voices to the voiceless and helping other people who are struggling with emotions, helping other people to get through it. Okay, we got those. Let's throw up those purple hearts because you guys know how I represent for victims and survivors of narcissistic abuse. And I guess it doesn't really need to be said, but like I said, if anybody's in here trying to bully anyone else or trying to come at me, do not try to come for me. Please don't come for me. Come for your. Oh, oh. Let me keep it down. I'm gonna keep it down because I don't want to get my shit banned. I end up getting banned, guys. I have a mouth like that. I can get banned. And of course, I'm not a medical professional, guys. I am a survivor myself. I've been narcissist free for going on. Actually, you know what? It's a lot longer than that, but I've come to learn that I've dated quite a few narcissists and I have narcissists in my family. So, unfortunately, but I've been narcissist free for over 3 years and I've pretty much done my due diligence in doing my research, studying psychology, and trying to help other people. But I am not a medical professional, so this is not meant to replace any kind of therapy. If you guys are getting professional help, please continue to do so. I'm simply someone here who's trying to help you to understand, try to help you heal, and try to help you get to the altar without any toxicity. All right. Or if you're looking to be single and just free, a free spirit, loving yourself, that too, whichever way it goes for you guys. All right. So we got people already putting up, okay, so some book references. Read Sociopath Next Door. So I take it that's a book. So guys, if you guys are, interested in learning a little bit more about sociopaths, there's a book right there. All right, so let's just kind of go back for a second. I want to make sure I don't forget anyone. Jen, thank you so much, sweetheart. I thank you. All right. Um, all right, let me go back. There, it's going up so fast. I can't. Let me just see. Um, Ishona Banjo. I hope I said your name right, honey. I'm sorry. Thank you for being brave. I haven't gotten there quite yet. It takes time, guys. It does take time. Being a victim of narcissistic abuse is not something that you can get over overnight, okay? Especially if you've been with these people for long periods of time. All right? It will definitely take some time, but it's not impossible. So you can get through the motions. Why do they make you always feel crazy? Make you feel like it's all you? Because they do not like to take accountability for their actions. They don't like to take accountability for any of their actions. So here's the thing, guys. When people don't take accountability for their actions, they are aware that their actions are wrong. Okay. You know, the same type of people who do take accountability for their wrongdoings, they're aware that, you know, they have committed wrongdoings. A manipulator is also aware of the wrongdoings, but because they don't want to run the risk of having some kind of ego death or ego bruising, what happens? They blame it on other people. Manipulators tend to point the fingers at everyone else, but they don't sit there pointing it at themselves. Okay, they blame it on their childhood. They blame it on their rough upbringing. They blame it on exes. They blame it on everybody else rather than sitting there saying, I'm a screw up. I screwed up. I messed up, and genuinely apologizing for it. They won't do that. They won't do that. That is pretty much, it's their pride. Okay. It's their pride and it's their arrogance. Their pride and arrogance will pretty much, well, one, it's going to lead to their demise. But two, admitting that they're wrong means defeat. And if they feel defeated, that means that everything that they worked so hard for is pretty much in the pits. So not only do they feel that way about themselves, but now it's going to show in front of everyone else. It means weakness for them. Okay. And they have to give off this impression that they're not weak people. They have to give off this impression, no, I'm stronger than you. I'm more, they're very stubborn. They're very stubborn people. They will sit there. They will sit there and fight tooth and nail. You know what narcissists are? Just much like any other general manipulator, they're the kind of people that will throw shit at you, but they'll hide their hands. Okay? They throw things at you, but they hide their hands. So when people say, oh, where did that come from? How the heck did that happen? From which direction? They're too busy hiding their hands. So they're quick to throw shade. They're quick to insult people. They're quick to shame people. They're quick to do whatever it is that's necessary for them to hurt someone else. But it's like I told you guys before, it's that I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. I'm going to pretty much put the damage onto you before you ever try to do it to me. And if you, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with narcissists, they do not take defeat very well. They don't take defeat very well, which is why a lot of the time, if you try to get away from them, and if they've managed to hoover you back in, it's like I said in my video, when they manage to hoover you back in, now not only is the abuse going to be worse, but the discard is going to be a lot more worse. And now they're really going to put revenge because you tried to get away the first time. You try to stand up for yourself. You try to expose them. This is why it's really important that if you've ever gone through a discard, whether it was them who did it to you or you who did it to them, you have to stay away from them. You really have to stay away from them. Listen, narcissists, I get this question all the time. Do they know they're a narcissist? They may not know the classifications as far as being a narcissist is concerned. Okay. And unless they've gone to a therapist to get diagnosed, they will not know. They will not acknowledge that they're a narcissist. But they know that their behaviors are very toxic. They know, what do I always tell you guys? They know when they're lying to you. They know when they're feeding you bullshit. They know what their intentions are. So if you've ever gotten into a relationship with a narcissist, and keep this in mind, guys, it could be your family too. It doesn't just have to be your relationships. But if you've ever gone into a relationship with a narcissist, you're basically, it's kind of like, what's the best way to describe it? Because I don't listen. You guys know I love you. And at the end of the day, I always keep it 100 with you guys. But the way I have to basically express it is, it's just your turn. It's your turn. That's all it is. They have no intention on fully committing to your relationship. And anyone who's dealing with the discard, I mean, please let this be confirmation for you. They have no intention on committing with you. They have no intention on being transparent with you, on being caring and loving and kind to you. I mean, of course, when they try to hoover you back in, yes, they're going to give you the love bombing because you can get more flies with honey than you do vinegar, but it's going to be worse. It's going to get worse as time goes on. And as long as you continue to allow them to continue the cycle of continuous, what is it? Love bombing, devaluation, discard, recycle. Love bombing, devaluation, discard, recycle. So if you've been in different cycles with the same person or different people, and let's say it was the same person, and you have been discarded, let's say 2 or 3 times, if you notice each and every time, it's worse. It's worse. So each and every time they hoover you in, they'll lay it on thick, and then what happens? You'll begin to let your guard down. When you let your guard down, what happens from that point? They start to devalue you. The reality of it is, though they never respected you, they have gone above and beyond with the disrespect, because now you have shown them that they can do what they want, they can say what they want, they can treat you how they want, and all they have to do is walk back in and say, listen, I'm sorry, I love you. They didn't mean anything to me. Let's work on this. I want to marry you. How many of you have actually gone to the point where you've married a narcissist because they knew that was something you always wanted? So they decided to come back with a ring, or they decided to come back with a huge proposal, or a huge proposal for commitment, whether it be moving in together because of what? Because you thought they were going to change. So that's pretty much why you accepted it. But over time, you realize nothing has changed. If anything, the abuse got worse. The verbal abuse got worse. Okay, the manipulation got worse. And each and every time, guys, I want you to understand, each and every time they hoover you back in and they allow you back into their space, allow them back into yours, you're teaching them, and please don't take offense to this, but I'm being honest here. Each and every time you take them back in, you're teaching them how to manipulate you, to maneuver around you even better. Okay? If you know for a fact, with all of the content that's put out there and everything that's explaining the signs and the traits, and they don't even have to be a narcissist. I told you guys, don't stay stuck on the labels, okay? Don't stay stuck on the label. Focus on the patterns. Focus on the behaviors, okay? If you know for a fact that this person or these people, all right, are not worthy, because people like that are not worthy to be in your life, projection, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, manipulation, the whole oh, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, my hair got in my eye. Oh, okay, here we go. Everything that they have done to you, and then each and every time you forgave them, each and every time you gave them the benefit of the doubt, each and every time you allowed them in, they're looking at you. They're not looking at you with loving eyes. They're not looking at you with, okay, I love this person and I'll never ever do anything to lose you again. They're looking at you with fierce hatred and anger and disgust. That's what they're looking at you with. Okay? These people, the majority of them are self-loathing. Now, the reason I say the majority of them, and here's something, this is why I said we're going to talk about grandiose narcissism and vulnerable narcissism. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. Yes. Kim says, you missed the void they filled. I'm sorry, brown sugar. I'm so sorry. I got the names mixed up. You missed the void they filled, not them. And the crazy thing about that is that void that we feel, especially after a discard, after separation, that's a void we were supposed to be filling on our own. Okay? But because we relied on them, which it's okay to admit that, guys, we relied on them to fill that void, they took advantage of that. They took advantage of that. So when you decided, when they decided that they wanted to, something that looks better over here, this doesn't excite me anymore. The relationship is getting boring. It's getting kind of stale. You're not keeping things exciting for me. In other words, you're not being my little my little circus clown. You're not doing these things to keep me interested, to keep me excited. But over here, it's looking more exciting. Grass is greener on the other side for them. So what do? What did I say in my video? The latest video I put. What they're going to pretty much do, we're just going to kind of run through it real quick when it comes to the discard stage. When the discard happens, or when they're about to do the discard, they're basically going to be detaching from you. Okay? And by detaching from you, I don't mean emotionally. I mean physically detaching from you. Okay? They're kind of sliding out of the picture. They're sliding out of the picture. So you're here, they're here, and they're kind of going this way because now they need to put someone else right here. Okay? But now, in order to do that without you getting involved, what are they going to do? You start noticing different patterns. You start noticing different behaviors. You start noticing they're getting a little bit colder. They're becoming more distant. They're doing things now. They're doing things that they would normally not want you to be doing. If you know, you'll notice that more during the discard. Maybe during your relationship, but you'll notice it more during the discard. They're doing things that you know for a fact if you were to do it to them, they would be pissed off about it. Now you're asking questions. Now you're wondering what's going on. So you try to communicate with them. So now what are they doing? They're pretty much stonewalling you, and they're going to be gaslighting you. By stonewalling you, they're basically withholding information from you. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe you answers to anything. I'm a grown man. I'm a grown woman. I don't owe you anything. And this, of course, is coupled with the gaslighting. So the gaslighting, again in my video, like I explained it, the gaslighting is pretty much listen to yourself. You sound crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, but I saw this. You didn't see anything. You're making things up in your own head because you're stalking me. Have you heard that before? Why are you constantly going through my stuff? Why are you constantly showing me that I can't even be with you because you're too insecure? Mind you, this was after the entire relationship of undermining your confidence, eroding your self-esteem, okay? Trauma bonding you. And now you're at a point where you're like, well, what the heck is going on? And they, of course, are keeping you at arm's length. If you notice during the discard, okay, they're not completely letting you go. What are they doing? They're breadcrumbing you, okay? They're giving you little pieces of breadcrumbs. They're giving you little pieces here and there. They're texting you sporadically. They're not texting you every day like they used to, but they'll text you, maybe on a Monday they'll text you, and if they decide to, they might text you that Thursday or Friday. Or maybe a whole week goes by, and then they text you the following week. Or maybe just out of the blue, they pop up at your job or they pop up at your house, okay? This is yet again to keep you stuck. This is to keep your mind on them. While they're playing the field, they're out there dilly-dallying, playing the field, you are sitting here confused as fuck. You're sitting here wondering what in the world is going on. Does this person want to be with me? Do they not want to be with me? They're not telling you per se, it's over. We are done. We're not together anymore. No, they're not telling you any of those things. Now, under most circumstances, when they've locked in a new supply and they have someone else that has taken your place, rather than cut things off with you completely, rather than say it's done, it's over, I moved on, you should move on. What they're going to do is they're going to extend you a consolation prize. They're going to ask you, can we still be in each other's lives? I don't want to lose you. Let's be friends. Let's be in each other's lives. And if you ask them, we'll go a step further. You ask them, are you seeing someone else? Are you dating someone else? Why can't you just tell me? They're not going to tell you they're seeing someone else, especially if they're trying to keep you within their surroundings. They're not going to tell you that. I had to look for stuff. I had to literally be the woman that I am and face one of my biggest fears. I had to look for things. I had to look to see what was going on. And I started piecing things together. If you notice during the discard, when they say, not everything is as it appears to be, that is bullshit. And I'm going to tell you that right now. Clear cut bullshit. Okay? You see all of these people, ladies, if you saw all these different females coming onto their page and liking their pictures and doing all of this and that or whatever, let me tell you something. That's bullshit. Fellas, the same for you. Okay? These people were nowhere around when you two were together. And all of a sudden now they start smelling themselves. And because they're getting attention and they're getting all these different people stroking their ego. And what do I say? Like they got a vagina made of gold or they got a 12-inch penis between their legs. At the end of the day, you don't matter. But they still want you around because when that all basically comes down and it's no longer fulfilling them, filling the void, they want to find a way to come back to you. Exactly. Mama B says we are an energy source for them. Unplug yourself. They don't deserve it. Exactly. Their words never match their actions. Nope. That is true. Let me just go back up. I want to make sure. Yeah. And like I said, guys, because people are more capable of being narcissistic than they are. Oh, Taurus, thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you for that. They're more prone to being narcissistic, having traits and characteristics and tendencies, narcissistic, and regardless of that, regardless of it, okay, whether they're a narcissist or simply a narcissistic person, regardless of it, they're unhealthy for you. They are unhealthy for you. They're not the kind of people, especially for all of you who have children. If you have children, they're not the kind of people that you want or you need in your life. Your children deserve better than that. Your children will learn behaviors from that. Okay? So if you have set your goals to raise your children a certain way, and you have someone in your life like that, they will pick up those habits and those behaviors because they see that you're enabling those same behaviors. So because mommy or daddy are putting up with those things, they think, well, it's fine. I should be able to do it too because you did it. So just keep that in mind. If you have children, be very, very especially careful because your kids their brains are sponges. They pick up every and anything. This is how, because narcissism is ingrained from childhood. NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, is ingrained from a very, very early age. A lot of people who were not born with NPD but have extremely narcissistic traits, those are the kind of people who learned a lot of behaviors over time. But people with NPD, this is ingrained. It's deeply rooted within their environment from when they were children. Sabrina, my father is a narcissist too, so I feel like it led me to being in a relationship with a narc too. That is absolutely correct. For people who have been raised by narcissists, even though you are not a narcissist, you may have been a codependent person, or you may have been even, we'll go one further, you may have been even an emotionally unavailable type of person. You will ultimately end up in the kind of relationships. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. If I don't thank you personally, thank you so much. You will ultimately end up with the kind of people who are, in essence, a reflection of your narcissist parent or the parent who abandoned you emotionally. You will end up with the type of people like that because you are looking for that void to be filled too. So codependent people, when they have been abandoned by their parents or by their parents, they are pretty much in search of that love because of the rejection that they received as children. Okay, that's how codependent people are. They're in search of just having that little morsel, if necessary, if it can be that little morsel of love because of the rejection that they faced as kids. And they spend their, you ever heard the saying, oh, she's trying to find her father in all these men, or he's trying to find his mother in all these women, or he's trying to find the type of person that, listen, narcissistic men are pretty much either going to be the extension of their narcissistic parent, or they're going to be the scapegoat of that narcissistic parent. It's either or. Codependent men end up being with the kind of women who represent the narcissist or the narcissistic person in their life. That's why a lot of men who are just trying to have love or trying to fill that void end up being with extremely toxic women. So if you have a man who has an extremely toxic mother, he is going to eventually end up dealing with the kind of females that are in essence just like his mother. And over time, that screws up his mind too. That messes his head up too. He's unhealed. He resents his mother. And he deals with the utmost toxic women who are, in essence, a reflection of his mother. And if it's his father, it's the same thing. So when he eventually ends up, which is probably what a lot of you women have dealt with, okay? A lot of you women have probably dealt with this. You've probably dealt with the kind of man who has codependency issues, who has pretty much gone in through relationships, extremely traumatic and toxic relationships with the kind of women who represent his trauma from his childhood. And because he has gone through these women over time, he has become avoidant. He's become emotionally detached, which has made him to feel like I just need to just do for myself and be, because he has trust issues. He can't trust women because, and this is, of course, this all stems from that narky parent in his life. So when he finally meets someone such as yourself, someone who's an empathetic person, a caregiver kind of person, someone who's, who's just about loyalty, love, respect, honesty, all the basic healthy things, he fucks that up because now he done had all that other crap ingrained in his mind. And now he doesn't know how to treat you. So what does he do? He self-sabotages. He sabotages the relationship. He sabotages clearly your trust. And he appears to be narcissistic. This is why I say be careful, guys. Be careful. But regardless, someone who is toxic, someone who's unhealthy and not healed is still not healthy for you. They don't have to be a narcissist. If they're not healed, if they haven't faced their trauma, they will do more damage than they will any good in your life. The ADD, it's hard to break away because you really are not aware of what's happening to you. That's the trauma bond. That's the trauma bond. And in this case, because a lot of people, guys, I know you have a lot of people who are naysayers, who sit there and say, Angie says, I'm sorry, can that man change instead of self-sabotage? Anything is possible. Anything is possible. But it often requires having to put a mirror to their face for them to see their behaviors. It often requires having to, because listen, they could go through toxic relationship after relationship after relationship because they're accustomed to that. So now when they meet someone like you and you are the total opposite of the kind of women that he has dealt with, now he's looking at you like you have agendas, you have motives, because everything is always in a pattern for these types of people. Everything's patterned. So toxic women, if a man is used to dealing with toxic women, he already knows. Thank you so much for the gifts, guys. He already knows how it's going to play out. She's going to be nice to me. She's going to show me attention. She's going to be pretty much narcissistic, okay? She's going to show me attention. She's going to put me on the pedestal. She's going to make me feel good. Boom. She's going to tear me down and toss me. That's the pattern that they go through. And they're used to that. They're accustomed to those toxic behaviors. So now they meet you. They meet you and you, okay, all right, he's checking off his checklist. She's nice to me. Okay. She's complimenting me. Okay. She's doing all these nice things. She's putting me on the pedestal, right to the point that you're putting him on the pedestal. Now he's waiting for the shoe to drop. Now he's waiting for you to tear him down like every other female in his life has done to him. Only this time he's noticing that you're not doing that. You're not tearing him down. You're not emasculating him. You're not hurting him. You're not, now he's starting to get suspicious. Now he's starting to see, okay, Angie's doing A, B, and C. She's doing all of, I'm not used to this. So what happens? Now he's starting to get a little defensive because he's like, wait a minute. By this time, you were supposed to have just cut me loose and let me go. Now his paranoia is kicking in. Now he's basically like, wait a minute. Because what's happening? He is enjoying it. He's actually liking it. And he does not like the feeling of enjoying that because he's accustomed to having his expectations pretty much blow up in his face. He's accustomed to having everything pretty much thrown at him and him yet again being dumped, hurt, discarded, what have you. He ends up creating self-sabotaging behaviors because he's looking at you like you have motives. You have some kind of motive, whatever that may be. And he will end up sabotaging the entire relationship with you. And I know a lot of you have dealt with the kind of people who end up going either back to toxic relationships or going to relationships that are, as they say, low vibrational, because that's what they are used to. That's what they're used to. They're used to disappointment. They're used to the pain, the mental pain. They're not used to emotional pain. And the reason they're not used to that is because they were never given the opportunity to properly feel emotions. Everything has been one big disappointment after the other, after the other. And it's crazy how this works, right? It's crazy. And it doesn't have to just be men, guys. It's ladies too. It's crazy how this whole thing works. I imagine so, Alicia. I imagine because I know a lot of you are victims. A lot of you are victims of people who clearly, because narcissism is unhealed trauma. It's unhealed trauma. Codependency, unhealed trauma. Okay? This is all unhealed trauma. So, because of the fact that these people do not go for the kind of help that they need to heal themselves, they're going to continuously make victims. People are going to continuously pay for the trauma that was inflicted on these people by other people. It's ridiculous. Nabi says, I left my partner yesterday because of his verbal abuse towards me. I'm trying my best. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can try your best. Continue to try your best. I get a lot of questions asking me, you know, after all of this, will they come back? I don't think you should be so concerned about if they will come back. I think you need to be concerned about defending yourself if they do come back. There's a big difference. Okay, because you have people, and I get it, guys. I get it completely. You have a lot of victims who are still in the beginning stages of their discard or still going through the motions, and they don't, they're on the fence. A lot of them are on the fence. They want to leave, but they want to stay. They want to, they want to go on with their life, but I love this person and I don't want to believe that this person is like this. They hold on to the good qualities. And the fact of the matter is that those good qualities were only given to you because you, in some way, shape, or form, were compliant with the narcissist in that you were stroking their ego, you were soothing their insecurities, and you were pretty much conforming to their desires. That was the only reason why you received good behaviors. You didn't receive it because of the person you were. You didn't receive it because you were fun, loving, and caring and decent towards them. That was expected of you. You received good behaviors because you were walking on eggshells for them. You were trying to keep them happy. You were trying to do whatever it took to not make them mad. And they saw that. And not only did they see that, but they took advantage of that. Oh, wow. So all I got to do is talk nasty to her or nasty to him and push them in the corner, and then they give me what I want. This is why narcissists are correlated with little kids, because they throw tantrums. Little kids want to eat chocolate cake. You say no. What do? They're crying. Well, not my son. My son know better than that. But kids throw themselves around and they throw tantrums. So when you finally give in to them, the tantrum stops and they're acting back to normal again. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They were giving you good behaviors. Some people need a dose of reality, and I'm going to give it to you. They were not giving you the loving, kind, caring, sweet, decent side of themselves because of you. Everything they had done was for their own selfish gain. And in some way, shape, or form, for every time, and here's the crazy part about it, and this is why I say, every time they're nice to you, they're just as nasty with you if you don't comply with them, if you don't agree with them, if you don't conform for them, right? They are so nasty with you to the point where you're like, oh my God, okay, fine. You back down and you actually pretty much bow down. In your relationship with a narcissist, you are worshiping the ground that they walk on. You don't even realize it. Cognitive dissonance, okay? Cognitive dissonance. You are pretty much doing things you don't normally do. You are going against your beliefs. So if you were never the type, you were always the type to be a strong, independent woman or a strong, independent man, and you were never the type to let anyone talk to you however way they wanted to talk to you or disrespect you or what have you. And what happens? You stand your ground. You got a backbone? No. But this one particular person that you dealt with over time, people even around you may notice. Billy, you never did this before. So wait, you're gonna let them talk to you like that? And you're just gonna be like, you go through cognitive dissonance. It's pretty much doing what you don't normally do. You're going against your beliefs. You're going against whatever it is you would always have done before you got into this shitty ass relationship, because that's exactly what it was. And now you're conforming to what they want you to do, which is why afterwards, after the discard, after you have been completely like humiliated and embarrassed, because now you're seen, because what happens when the discard happens and they are with someone new, right? And they don't care if you know anymore because they lock that person in. They don't care anymore. They don't need to hold their mask up anymore. They don't need to lie to you. They don't need to gaslight you. They don't need to do anything more because they already got their new supply. And they're looking at you like, I don't give a shit what you say or what you do. I'm with this person. They've already gotten to their new supply's head before you could even speak your truth on it. Number one. Number two, they already spoke to everybody else and fed them all kinds of bullshit, lies, talking about you're the unstable one, you're the one who's insecure, you're the one who's controlling, you're the one who's toxic, you're the one who's doing this and you're doing that. And so now that they got their supply, they don't give a shit. They don't. And if you even try to talk about it, you try to get other people's, ears in to hear what it was that you went through, everybody else is looking at you like you're a bitter ex. You're just bitter that they just found somebody else because they didn't want to deal with you and your bullshit. They didn't want to deal with you and your abuse. They didn't want to deal with you and your life. And that's precisely what happens when all this is looking pristine on social media. You may see them on the streets. It can happen. It's all looking pristine. It's all looking, great. The victim goes into isolation. The victim is sitting there, left to pretty much fend for themselves, to lick their own wounds, and go into some forms of depression and try to deal with it as best as they can. And at that point in time, you're hurting. You're hurting. You're in a stage of depression. You're in a stage of disbelief because that person was just telling you not even a few weeks ago that they love you. They were just telling you not that long ago that they want to spend the rest of their life with you or making plans for the future, doing whatever. And that new supply, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little thing about the new supply, okay? Anybody who happens to be new supply in the chat room, let me explain something here. Because all that shit about, I took your man, or I took your girl, if you were really big. They don't know what they're in for. They have no idea what they're in for, okay? By putting you down, by tearing you down, by devaluing you, by discarding you, and them actually seeing what the narcissist has done to you because they've convinced the new supply that you are the abuser. You're the one who treated them like crap and made them feel like shit and you abused them or what have you. They're sitting there saying, oh, well, you deserve it because you shouldn't have. And they weren't even there to see what the hell happened. This is the thing that kills me about people. You weren't there to see what happened. You weren't there to see what transpired. Please don't open your mouth because you will look really freaking stupid. They're doing all this. And I look at the new supply, like when I look at other people's situations and I tell them, listen, don't even bother. They want to sit there and talk all that shit. Let them see what it feels like then. You want to talk, listen, guys, I'm not a cookie cutter, okay? I don't wish this on anybody. But if you're going to sit there and you're going to run your mouth and you're going to act stupid and you're going to try to call me out on some stupid shit, or you're going to be a flying monkey for a manipulator, for someone who's been sitting here lying to everybody and, and just pretty much trying to discredit me and smear me or what have you, then you go through it. Go ahead. You go through it. Because the same shit you were talking, you're going to be in my inbox. You're going to be in my inbox talking about, did you go through this? What the heck is this all about? What happened to, I took your man, I took your woman, right? Let them talk. Let them talk. Because everything that happened between you and that person, they're pervasive. That means they do it to any and everybody they can easily manipulate. That same bullshit that you went through with them, that new supply is going to go through the same thing. That new supply is going to go through the same thing. And listen, what's to say that new supply will enable them? We don't know. That new supply may just kick them to the curb and say, nah, get the hell out of my face and get out of my house. And what happens? If they don't have any new supply floating around, if they don't have anybody else that they can, whose door are they going to be knocking on? Who are they going to be calling? What's up, big head? Huh? Hey, how you been? Long time no see. Just checking in on you, see how you were doing. Oh, I heard there was a car accident out by, 5 blocks away from your house. I'm just checking in on you to make sure you're okay. Oh, listen, I don't know. I don't know if you were told, but, I was in the hospital and, I almost died. Okay. And because that's where you guys get. You guys get to that point. You get to the point where you used to be very caring, very vulnerable, very open to love, very like just, giddy and excited and wanting to give someone a chance and all of this. You go from that to, if you do not get the F out of my face in 1.5 seconds, okay, I'm going to send you right back to that same damn hospital that you claim you were in. That's going to be your attitude. That is going to be your attitude. You're not going to be little Miss Susie Homemaker. You're not going to be Mr. Rogers. You're not going to be any of those people. You are going to basically end up giving them a dose of their own freaking medicine. That is what you're going to end up doing. And you can do it ever so classy, guys. You can do it ever so classy. You don't have to stoop as low as yelling, screaming, getting nasty with them. You don't have to do it. What did I say? The best revenge is effective healing and your own personal success. That is the best revenge because they will never get to know what that side will look like, at least not with you. They won't get to know that. I look at it for myself. I tell people, you think you're going to betray my trust? You think you're going to hurt me and betray my trust when I had nothing but the best intentions for you? And then you think you're going to get the same person? You think you're going to get that same person? Nah, sorry. You don't get the same me twice. You don't. You betrayed my trust. You've shown me your true colors. You show me what you're about and how you handle things. And guess what? You don't agree with my spirit. So I guess what you did for me was a favor. It was a favor. And I thank you for that. I thank you for showing me who you really are and what you're about. Because in the moment of opportunity, you decided to change, to switch up on me. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. You decided to show your true colors and that you're nothing but an opportunistic asshole who wants nothing but attention, who wants nothing but you're greedy. You want all of this? Guess what, sweetheart? You got it. You got it. Because if the devil came knocking at my door talking about I have rubies and gold and I have cars and houses and all this stuff, and all you have to do, all I have to do is get on my knees and pray to God for my blessings. I don't deal with the devil. Get thee behind me, Satan, and slam my door shut. That's it. That is it. Y'all don't need to have to go through any of that. You guys don't have to go through any of that. These people are opportunistic. These people, and the crazy part is when you see yourself, you're starting to glow up, ladies. You're starting to glow up, fellas. You're making successes of yourself. You're doing your own thing. You're just out there like, yeah, you're hooking yourselves up. You got a new hairstyle. You just make yourself feel good. They see that because I'm going to tell you if you didn't know, and I'm going to repeat it if you already did. They watch you. They watch what you're doing. They are watching you. They're watching your social media. They're watching you. They're probably watching your homes. They're probably watching your jobs. They're watching the people you hang out with. And if they're not watching you, they have other people watching you. Monitor the accounts that are asking you to be friends. Monitor the people who are following you. Monitor them. Because there's just always going to be something. Something's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And you just can't put your finger on it. You're like, yo, this is sticking out like a sore thumb, but I can't trust and believe. They're watching you. Because you being a success and them not being able to take credit for that, them not being able to be there to look good on your arm, se jodió la cosa. Yes, they do. SD says they get a high to hurt you. They're not capable of love. But here's the crazy thing about it. They can be. They can be capable. They can be. But the problem is that the ingraining of the programming in their minds because of their abusive. This is what I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm so sorry. I get so caught up. I get in it. I'm like a preacher. I get in it. I wanted to talk to you guys about vulnerable narcissism and grandiose narcissism because there is a big difference between the two, though the behaviors are the same. Grandiose, basically in layman's terms, means outwardly. So it's like you can see their conceitedness, their self-absorption, their sense of self-importance. They walk into a room and they act like you have to give them the attention. You have to acknowledge them. Okay? The grandiose types of narcissists are the very flashy types of narcissists. And those are the ones that it really extremely shows in their behaviors, which is where a lot of people are more familiar with because it's very superficial. Those are the extroverted narcissists. Those are the ones that walk into the room and they got to be all flashy. They got to come in with a group of people and like a whole posse or what have you. And they're really pretty much projecting their ego all over the place. Vulnerable narcissism, which is I'm sure a lot more of you have dealt with. Vulnerable narcissists are the more insecure narcissists. They're the more toxic type of narcissists because their levels of insecurity are so deeply rooted that their toxic traits pretty much live outside of them. They'll stalk you. They'll watch every move that you make. They're questioning everyone who's in your circle. Okay? Those would probably be the types that would monitor your bus schedules, monitor your train schedules. Well, if you get off of work at 5:30 and you get home every day at 6:15, well, you got home today at 6:30, so what the hell happened in 15 minutes? Like, those are the ones that will completely be on top of you. They're very jealous. Very jealous. And these are the ones, the reason they're so insecure is because their level of abuse during their childhood was more on the scapegoat side. They were more on the side of being blamed, being abused verbally, being, put in the position to take all of the blame for the family problems and just take on the real negative, toxic traits. The grandiose narcissists are more on the golden child side. They're more on the side of, I'm better than everyone else. And they really try hard to ingrain that in everyone else's mind. So those are the ones who make themselves appear more important by, a lot of them like to name drop. So if they know people who are like in the business, in the fashion industry, music business, what have you, they like to basically like really throw it at you, laying it on thick that, oh, well, I know a lot of famous people, or I know a lot of people who do X, Y, and Z, and they're pretty much, it shows. It shows. They're more the types that love the attention. Here's the funny part about it. They love the external attention. They love the spotlight on them. They love the cameras on them. All eyes on me. I love it. The vulnerable types, those are the insecure ones. Those are the ones that are like, I don't really want the attention like that, but because you're giving it to me for this time being, I'm going to suck it out of you as much as I possibly can. And they're busy they're projecting onto you the toxic traits, the toxic abuse that they have endured throughout their childhood and throughout their life. The vulnerable narcissists they're considered to be the shy narcissist or the closet narcissist. Those are the ones that you don't even realize. And this is why I tell people, be very careful. Dissect it if you have to, because if you dealt with someone who in the beginning of the relationship didn't love bomb you, that doesn't mean that they're not a narcissist. You just got to be careful, because not every single one of them will love bomb you. The vulnerable types, maybe because they're the shy narcs, they will be the types that will appear probably humble. They'll appear humble. They'll appear cool, calm, and collected. They're not very flashy. They're not big on, on being, like grandiose narcissists are. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected. They will still lie to you, though. They will give you false information with regards to their past relationships. They'll lie to you about certain things. They'll lie to you about who that person is, and they'll lie to you about where that money went. They'll lie to you about things, so don't get that twisted. But they're not flashy. They're not flashy like the grandiose narcs. And then over time, the vulnerable types are the ones who fish for your compliments. They put themselves down. Grandiose narcissists don't do that. If you notice, they don't put themselves down. The vulnerable ones do. And when they put themselves down, they're basically feeding off of your supply they're feeding off of your compliments, your words of encouragement, you trying to pretty much pick them up, put them on the pedestal, and lift it up for them. I guess we can consider them kind of like the lazy narcissist, I guess. That'll probably be the best word for it. They want you to lift, they want you to do the work, and when they get to the top, okay, which is what narcissists do. Oh, once I'm at the top and I'm, kind of noticed and people are, remember something, guys, your level of security, your level of compliments, encouragement, love, empathy, sympathy, your kindness, your contributions, everything that you have contributed to build them up, okay? Build them up and gave them, let's face facts, guys, you gave them that status. You gave them that status. They built themselves up on your pedestal. Grandiose narcissists come in on their own pedestal, but that's a pedestal of illusion. They come in on their pedestal looking down at you the minute they see you. Oh, yeah, I'm up here. You see how important I am? I'm already up here. But the vulnerable ones, you got to lift them up, put them on, and chain them up. And then when they get to the top and they, as they're going up on that pedestal, they're draining you of your, guys, depending on what kind of relationship you had, they could be draining you of your finances. They could be draining you of your energy. They could be just any little thing. Because like I said, it could be your family too. It doesn't have to be just relationships. Once they've done all of that, what more is there to take from you? But wait a minute. Now here's the thing. Because I know you be sitting there like, wait a minute. You was just sitting there like a little sad puppy dog when I first met you, talking all this. I'm not, I feel like crap and I'm nowhere near where I need to be in my life and all of this nonsense. And now all of a sudden, now that you drain everything out of me, now that you made me feel even crappier, you made me feel lower than you claimed to be when we met. Now that you're up there and you're being noticed, now it's screw me. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because they took whatever they could from you. They took whatever they could from you. And if there is no more to take from you, you would be considered an inconvenience. And keep in mind, guys, I always tell you the different sides. It could be the discard can happen based on that, or it can happen based on you seeing their imperfections and really seeing their imperfections as really being a problem. Because listen, God forbid a narcissist has flaws. And God forbid you see those flaws. You see the flaws. And let me tell you something. You look at them as flaws. No, those are their toxic traits. That is something that has been embedded within them. Okay? We all have flaws. We're all flawed. But that's not a flaw, guys. Nope. That toxicity is not a flaw. Okay? That is something way beyond the flaw. And the majority of people who get into these relationships with these kind of people think that they can love them beyond that. And I'm going to tell you something. The more you try to stay, the more you try to save them, the more you try to give them more and more love, you think they don't know that you love them? You think they don't know that you care about them? That you would have done every and anything for them? They know that. Oh man, listen, and don't let anybody tell you, well, I didn't know you really cared about me like that. So you mean to tell me helping you with your bills, me taking care of your house, me, taking care of you in this relationship, me cooking for you, me contributing emotionally, doing all of these things, you're going to sit here and tell me you didn't know that I loved you? That's bull. It's bull. It's bull. They know you love them. They know that there was nothing you wouldn't have done for them. They know these things. That's why they took advantage of it. Because they looked at you like you are not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You're here. You are here with me. You're here for me. And if I can gaslight you enough, if I can stonewall you enough, if I can keep you at arm's length and really just try to keep you, because what did I tell you? The breadcrumbing is indirectly leading you on. They're indirectly leading you on. So when they're breadcrumbing you, they're indirectly, and by indirect, I mean they're leaving no traces. They're not leaving any kind of concrete proof. It's kind of like, it's kind of like wiping your prints, right? Wiping the prints, but there being a little smudge. That's what that is. Because if you sit there and say, but wait a minute, you texted me. You texted me on Monday, you texted me on Friday, and you're thinking this is what I wanted. This is what you wanted. You want to still be with me. Just because I text you doesn't mean I want to be with you. Just because I liked one of your pictures on social media or I interact with you doesn't mean that I want to be with you. It's always technical, guys. Yep. I mean, the trauma bond, listen, the trauma bond was embedded when the relationship was going downhill, and you know, it did not end from that point. That trauma bond was pretty much, it was going back and forth. But when it boils down to narcissists or, just a manipulator in general, they like to push the envelope, but then you become no more fun for them. You're not fun for me anymore. You're not exciting for me anymore. You're not doing it for me anymore. Okay. And what happens? They're seeing other people that are looking more appealing. They're seeing other people that are out there just doing single life things. Because guys, I'm gonna tell you something, man. And I'm gonna give a trigger warning because I don't want to trigger anybody, but I gotta give you the truth. They were single while you were still in a relationship. They were single while you were still in a relationship. There is no, oh, we're in it together forever and we're going to, no, no. They were single while you were in the relationship. And your confirmation is they were looking for a new supply even before your relationship ended. That's why they go from relationship to relationship to relationship. Or situationship to situationship to situationship, because it's not even a relationship. Think about it, guys. They don't have relationships. They don't have relationships. They have situationships. That's all they deal with. A relationship is a bond between two people mutually, who contribute both. Both of them contribute towards that relationship. A situationship is where we don't really know where we are with one another, but we're sleeping together, we're doing this, we're doing that. That's what they had with you. You thought you were in a relationship. They looked at it as it's a situationship. And they did not commit. They did not commit to you fully. They did not commit to you fully. They committed to their wants, their desires, their selfish needs. That's what they were committed to. And as much as I wish I can give better analogies, but at the end of the day, there really is nothing positive to say about these people, except for the fact that they made you who they pretty much pushed the envelope to the point that you became the person you are. You became the person you are. That's probably the one positive effect, is that you actually became the person, a better version of yourself. You're no longer the pushover. You're no longer the doormat. You're no longer the one that, that can't say no to people, that can't, that will feel guilty if you do say no. You're no longer that person. Roxanne, why the silent treatment? Silent treatment, which is pretty much any manipulator's tactic, is a way to control you, to control your, because it's playing those head games. So it's a way to control your emotions. Okay. It's a way to get you to react. It's a way to get you to respond. And I want to explain something to you guys, in case you guys, are wondering. No contact and silent treatment, two different things. Two different things. One is for protection and one is for manipulation. Okay? No contact and silent treatment are two different things. And if you are no contact and they're trying to convince you that you being no contact with them is playing the silent treatment, tell them to shut the hell up, because it's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. Okay? No contact is a way for you to preserve whatever little sanity you have left so you can start your healing, so you can remove yourself from that situation. Okay? Silent treatment is pretty much a manipulator's way to control your emotions without even saying words. Because let's face facts, guys. Number one, nobody likes being ignored. No one likes to be ignored. Okay? And when someone starts to ignore you, what happens? You become reactive. You start to basically ask yourself questions. You start to sometimes people get paranoid. Anything can happen. This is a way to make the person it's a way to pretty much make you lose your damn mind. That's pretty much what it is. And it's to kind of keep that leash on you. It's to keep that leash of control on you. I'll talk to you when I want to talk to you. And until I'm ready to talk to you, I'm not saying a word to you. Your no contact, their silent treatment, two different things. Yes, it is. It's also pretty much. It's pretty much because with a narcissist, during your discard, the devaluation, and guys, just keep in mind, the devaluation is their form of projection. Okay, it's their form of projection. They're projecting onto you the internal struggles they have with themselves. Okay, which is why during the devaluation and discard, it is so easy for victims to fall prey to that trap. It's to pretty much demote your significance. It's to demote you. So you went from being, operations manager to being the person that sweeps up the garbage on the outside. You know, you went from having a very high position to being brought down to here. Here's the thing. That high position, that was an illusion. That was an illusion, guys. Okay? They gave you the impression that you had that high position because they needed to appease you so they can continuously get whatever supply they could out of you. You wouldn't have stuck around if they had treated you like crap from the very beginning. You would not have stuck around if they had, done everything right then and there from the beginning. You would have left. So they have to wear their mask. They have to set the scene for you. And then when everything's said and done, all right, I set the scene. I got what I wanted. I pretty much did what I needed to do. Now it's on to the next. And let's be frank, guys. These are the kind of people who do not know how to properly connect with their own children. So if they can't properly emotionally connect with their own children, they carried these children for 9 months, gave birth to them. They don't know how to properly connect with the children that they brought into this world. They're not going to connect with people that they've met, whether it be on the streets, it be in a bookstore, at a movie theater, on a dating website. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. For anyone who is dealing with or has dealt with a narcissist, and you're sitting on the fence wondering, will they ever change? Will they ever change? Will they ever change? Are they capable of it? They are capable of it. They are capable of it. But will it happen? Very small percentage. And trust me, those odds are not good. Those odds are not good. Okay? So if you have a narcissist mother, fellas, if you're dealing with a woman who's a narcissist mother, and you know that her traits clearly are indicative of her narcissism, everything that she's doing is for show. Everything she's doing is for show. That's all it's for. The pictures, the interactions, and because if you notice, and these, of course, are for people who know that these people are severely narcissistic. When they're online and they're just posting up all kinds of pictures, they're extending their ego onto that child or those children. But that's if those children are compliant with the parent, the narcissist parent. Okay? Because those kids get trauma bonded. They get trauma bonded. If they do not comply with the narcissist parent, they get scapegoated. If they comply with them, they get put on a pedestal. But it's all for show. That's all it is. It's all for show. It's an image thing. It has nothing to do with love, affection, nothing. Nothing to do with that. Yeah, yeah. It's all for show. Let me show the world that I'm the world's greatest mother. Let me show the world that I'm the world's greatest dad. Meantime, they'll take the picture. I saw this one video on TikTok, and it was funny. They take the picture here like a baby doll. He takes a picture like this is the narcissist parent. Oh yeah, look at me and my baby. Where it looks so. And they'll take all these types of pictures, and then what did he do? It's not funny, but he went and it was a doll. So after he was done taking the pictures, he's like, all right. He threw the doll like he threw the doll across the room. That's exactly what they do to their kids. That's what they do to their kids. Let's show the world that I'm the greatest mommy in the world, and you better not mess this up because they can't take criticism. They cannot take criticism, their parenting skills, nothing. This is why people of narcissist families, people of immediate narcissist families, mommy, daddy, sister, brother, everybody in one household, they all had a role to play to keep the secrets, the family secrets and the family treatment, to keep it in the household. You don't tell anybody what's going on in this house. You don't tell anybody what's going on in this house, or when we go places or whatever we do. You don't tell anybody. And when we take family pictures, everybody better smile. If I see, and the tyrant, which is usually the narcissist parent, the tyrant will really instill fear in the family. They're a bully. They will instill fear in the family. So if you know someone who comes from a narcissist family, or if you have yourself come from a narcissist family, and let's say you run across old photos, old pictures, and everybody is forced to smile because the slightest crooked smile that gives anything away with regards to the abuse that is going on in that house, you are going to get a really big lashing for it. Oh, trust me, I know, man. I know. I know. Roxanne, I studied a lot. I learned because I'm still learning psychology, and I connect the dots. That's really what I did. I connect the dots. I basically just went from A, B, C, and I was just connecting them and just making sense of it, because it makes sense, you know? So, but with all the studying and plus my own experiences, and once I learned certain like conditioning, traumatic bonding, I learned, attachment styles. I learned a lot of different things, and I correlated it with my life to identify the abuse that was going on in my life, whether it be in my family or in my relationships. And I just started connecting the dots. And then when I started pushing it out there for other people to learn, because a lot of other people have gone through similar situations. And then it's amazing that people all over the place are going through the same thing. We're all from different places. We've all been with different people. We come from different backgrounds. But amazingly, we all have gone through the same thing in some way, shape, or form. So I said, you know what? Let's make some use of this knowledge. Sharing is caring, knowledge is key. And at the end of the day, we're bringing children into this world. So we want to create as much awareness as possible, because when we leave this earth, we want to make sure our kids are in good hands. We want to make sure our kids know what to look for, the signs to look for. And they work that with future generations. So this is pretty much where the buck stops. I'm breaking generational curses, and anything beyond me, they will not be dealing with that. They will not be dealing with that. Shonda, thank you, sweetheart. Oh, Latanya, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. Guys, I'm so glad you guys came out tonight. I'm so glad you guys were here, with the exception of a few a-holes. But like I said, I don't, I'm very transparent with you guys. I keep no secrets. I keep no secrets. I'm very transparent with you guys. And, I'm not, listen, I don't take anyone's, like, as far as insults and things like that. I've heard worse. I've heard a lot worse from different people. So my confidence has become so bulletproof that it's like, okay, well, you're the one who's sitting behind a computer screen, and I'm the one who's here actually helping people. So, a lot that says about your life. You know what I'm saying? So, and don't let people, guys, try to persuade you to believe that you're not good enough, because you are good enough. Don't let them try to convince you that you can't do better, because trust me, sweetheart, you will do way, way better than what it is you had dealt with. 7 billion. I say it all the time. 7 billion people on this planet. 7 billion of them. And God has created someone specifically designed for you. So you need to get your heel on so he can send that person into your life. Okay? Christina, you're very welcome. Cedric, do they really come back? The majority of them do. They do, especially if they're going through some type of ordeal in their life. But their reasons for coming back, not the reasons most people would think. They come back because they may be facing things in their life, Who knows? Maybe they're reaping their karma. They go through stuff too. They just may not go through the kind of pain we went through, but they go through things. So a lot of the time they may try to come back because financial reasons. Maybe they want to drain your pockets again, or they're dealing with so much financial loss and so many issues that they think, okay, you may be the one to help me. And what do they try to do? They'll try to coax you. They'll try to sugarcoat things. They'll try to worm their way back in. A lot of the time they won't hoover because, one, it might be too much work to get. A lot of the time they won't hoover because, one, it might be too much work to get you back. All right. Not everybody is as forgiving. Not everybody is as forgetful. Not everybody sweeps it under the rug. They might just be like, you know something? I did a lot of messed up stuff, and this person might not take me back. They fear rejection. They fear your rejection. And even so, I mean, some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them may continuously try until you say yes, and they might try to make your life miserable. Don't fall asleep on that. Just because they fear rejection doesn't mean they won't try. Doesn't mean they won't become persistent or really try to torment you in the process. That can happen too, especially the real petty ones. When they try to make your life a living hell, or they try to interfere in your new relationships. So if you're like dealing with new people, or you decided to move on with your life and you decided to be with someone else, and they see that you're with someone else, that's a threat to them. That is a threat to them. And if they see that you're with someone knowing, and here's the thing, they're not worried about the other person. They're more so worried about you because they know what you have to offer, and they know that that other person will love you in a way that they wouldn't. And if that's the case, they done lost you for good, which is why a lot of them may try to sabotage your relationships, or may try to run a smear campaign to try to get the other person to leave you, or to think that, you know what, you got way too much drama in your life and I can't deal with that. And, if you're anything like me, I got a metal pipe in my closet. So we're not playing that. I'm just saying. I'm not making any threats, and I'm not being indicative of anything, but we're not playing that. Oh, yeah. Hold on one second. I just want to go up a little bit. I'm a Cali girl says, I always get an I miss you, baby Bubba from her new phone number. Just change it and leave me alone. Yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, I know some people can't change their phone number. I get it. But if you can, please do. Please do. That plays a very intricate role as far as communication is concerned, because without them having your direct contact number, like phone number, you can easily block them on social media. You can block them from different websites. But hi, Beba, how are you, sweetheart? You can block them from all over the place. But changing your phone number is a very, very big, it's a very big role. It plays a very big role because it not only lets them know that you're serious about them not bothering with you, you want no communication from them, but it lets you know that it worked for me where I put out of sight, out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. If I don't hear from this person, and I had to like literally delete everything, I had to delete phone numbers. Thankfully, I don't know numbers by heart. I had to delete phone numbers. I had to just completely, I had to delete the pictures on my phone. I had to just rid myself of any kind of memory of this person in order to start my healing. And oddly enough, here's the funny thing about it. About maybe almost 2 years later, I was cleaning up my closet. And the funny part is, I was going through some papers, and I remember I had written his number down as an emergency contact for something. And you know what? I didn't even think twice about it. I just shredded it. I ripped it up and threw it out. I threw it out. I got to the point where it was like, Why? Let me ask you this, guys. Because the crazy part is that sometimes they wait for you. They wait for you to reach out to them. They expect you to reach out to them. And my thing of it is, but you disrespected me, right? You disrespected me. You can see their pride and their ego won't let them, especially if they've hit rock bottom in their life, guys. Their pride and their ego will not let them, won't even let them apologize to you. And it's simply because the apology wouldn't even be genuine, right? But you disrespected me, you degraded me, you disgraced me, you discarded me, you treated me like crap. You went and you put everybody else, because they put everybody else before you guys. Everybody else comes before you, okay? Everybody who's fun to them, everyone who can, give them that level of excitement in their life goes before you. You did all of these. Hi, oh, how are you, sweetheart? You did all of these things, and then you have the audacity to sit there and expect me to reach out to you and actually communicate with you. And nah, you're gonna be sitting there with your thing in your hand for quite some time, because it ain't gonna happen. Okay? Get the lotion. Get the lotion. Okay? Because it ain't gonna happen. Mm. Only staying. How long does it take to get over one? That depends on the person. On the person. I mean, it can take anywhere between. I mean, I couldn't even give you a time frame, because it could be months, it could be years. For some people, it could be weeks. Healing is like it's really more so depending on the person, and if they get help, and if they do the proper things to separate themselves from the manipulator. Some people don't do that. And what they do is they end up delaying their healing. They end up delaying the process, and really just they end up doing more damage to themselves. So it really depends on the person who's going through the healing process. JJ, he hacked into my IG page and won't give it back. He knows it means a lot to me. Oh wow. So he must have. There must be a way. Isn't there a way? Maybe if you have the oh crap. Because I mean, if he hacked into the IG page, he probably changed the settings, and I would say contact IG. He has his email on it. I mean, if he has his email, because I know if you have your cell phone number logged on it. So he changed everything on it already. Wow. I see how pitiful that is and how petty that is. That's so damn petty. His cell and his email is on it. So damn petty. It just, I tell you, man. She has no proof that it was her page originally, so that she can contrast with it. It was her page originally. Yeah. Yep. Jasmine, I'm sorry, guys. It's going up so fast. Jasmine says that's someone that's miserable. Miss Misery loves company. I like that. I like that. Miss Misery loves company. That is so true. My ex just tried again to reach out to me because we share a pit bull, so I can probably talk. And they might even just try to contact you to say, "Hey, did I leave my toothpick there?" Like it's just something stupid and random. That's why I tell people, if you have anything that belongs to them, like any property of theirs, just pack it up, put it in a box, FedEx it, UPS it, what have you, and send it off to them. Send it off to them. But as far as, well, the pit bull, as far as the dog is concerned, I mean, Oh, I don't have pets, so I really couldn't. But they will use that. They will use that. Like that's the crazy part about it is they'll use any little thing to keep you attached. Let me see something. Do they ever feel remorseful? Feel like when he won, I feel like he won living his best life with the chick he always lied about. Do they ever feel remorseful? Well, therapists therapists um say that eventually they do. Yeah, sometimes they come in and they tell me they feel remorse. No, that's regret. And there's a difference between remorse and regret. Feeling remorse means I feel really effed up for doing what I did to you right then and there. That's remorse. Regret is I feel really effed up for doing what I did because not only did you see beyond my mask, but now you won't let me back in. So he can sit there and pose for the world. He's living his best life like he's golden and, just showing all kinds of pictures and all that stuff or what have you. He will put that person through the same thing. He will put that person through the same thing.
Melissa Barron wants to know, can you co-parent with a narc?
Can you co-parent with a narcissist? Yes. But now you got to remember, you have to be the adult here. Okay? You have to be the adult. You have to be the logical adult. You have to be the one who's, because they're going to pretty much be exerting all types of behaviors and it's going to make you frustrated. You're going to be extremely frustrated. But the best way, like, think of it this way. If you learn your children, right? Because you see how children are. If you learn them, their behaviors and their patterns, and you stay a step ahead of them, then you are the one in control. So in this case, you will have to be a step ahead of this person. But co-parenting requires minimal contact, limited contact. All right. Most people they call it gray rock, where it's you're not getting emotionally involved with the person. So you're not showing emotions towards the person. You're keeping everything strictly about the children. If there is a court order or if there's kind of, like family court involved, you're keeping everything strictly about, your relationship with the kid and their relationship with the kids. They will try to do things to get you to act out. They will try to do things to pretty much validate their claims of your instability. All right. You have to be a step ahead of them. Stay a step ahead of them. Okay. Know that, something, the shit that they're doing, I know this is another tactic and I'm not even going to pay attention to it. You also got to look at it this way. If you don't give in to your children's every whim, you don't give in to a narcissist every whim. Okay? It's kind of like having another child. So you got to kind of be the one with your feet firmly on the ground. Keep your communication if you can with text messages, emails, anything that's tangible, anything that's written, because that will, of course, qualify as proof. If they leave voice messages on your voicemail that is not pertaining to the children, keep that as well. You're pretty much going to have to do this where you want to act like a child. All right, fine. I'm an adult. I'm going to treat you like a child. That's how you'll have to do it. And if they try to say anything, if they try to be nice with you, or if they try to kind of sugarcoat things or try to be like, oh, be playful, you got to keep a face of stone. Okay? Don't fall for that. Don't sit there. They be like, oh, remember when we used to do this and that and be playful. You do not be playful with them. You do not be playful. Don't be playful with them. Okay? Because all that's going to end up doing is that's going to end up putting it in their head that you still got feelings for them. It's going to end up giving them impressions. It's going to end up pretty much putting them in a position where they can maybe try to revert or come backwards. So, nah, trust me. Trust me when I say sometimes being nice to them does not always pay off. Mm. Amador, I spied and found out he was buying prostitutes. Wow. Wow. Be very careful, guys. Please be very, very careful. Okay? I mean, a lot of them are shitties. Serial shitties.
They are shitty.
A lot of them are serial cheaters, and you don't know what they are doing, what they have been doing, and in this case, I mean, buying prostitutes, meeting prostitutes. There's a lot of shit flying around there, guys. So you have to be very, very careful. Oh God, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, just make sure because being as they allow their ego to do the walking and the talking for them, and they allow their ego to pretty much that ego stroking can really, really put them in a position where they make all kinds of decisions that are very irresponsible, whether it be dealing with threesomes or, sleeping around or, bouncing from person to person. Listen, man, listen, after I went through my discard, I focused primarily on my healing. And to this day, I have not been with another man. So, and that was like almost 4 years ago,
Going on for.
going on 4 years ago. Okay. So just be very careful, guys. Protect yourselves, please. No, they don't. Crown said it. They have no moral compass. 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 I think it's that time for me. I'm sorry, guys. I've been up since 7 this morning.
Decisions. Now it's compass.
Decisions.
Decisions. Now it's
The
compass.
shitties. Compass. Yeah, I definitely need to. I need to freaking. I think it's time to wind down. I'm getting too old. What do they think when you don't react to anything? They usually try to go further, try to push your buttons even more. They try to continuously go. They just keep trying to push your buttons. And if you continuously do not react and you continuously do not respond, eventually they get bored. They get bored. Um, Julissa, are you married? No. Nope. Not married. Not married. I don't think I want to get married. I'll be honest. I don't think I want to get married. I think I'd rather just truthfully. If a relationship came into play, then I guess it would be like we'll see how it goes, but I don't really think I want to. I mean, anything's possible though, because we could say we're never going to get married, we're never going to do anything, and we actually do it. So, oh, Ralph, thank you, sweetheart, thank you. I need help. He spends less time. Hold on, I need help. He spends less time, days a time. Don't see. Tra, um, Travis. Travis Esperanza. I'm sorry, honey. I'm trying to understand. So if you could just retype your question, please. What about when they suggest no contact and they invite you to dinner with new supply? That is a.
Put the
Are
table.
you out your mother effing mind? Like, what is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's. Listen, they suggest no contact. They suggest going on a break. We should take a break. We should take a break. I don't. We don't do breaks. We don't do breaks. Okay. If we're not working at our relationship, because you got to remember, guys, your relationship with a narcissist, it was you against them. Believe it or not, it was you against them. It wasn't them with you against the problems that you were having. It was you against them. You were their enemy. But because you have resources, you have things that they wanted, they decided to go other ways to get that from you. How do you get resources from your enemy? You're a snake. You become a snake. So you basically pretend to be someone that you are not to get someone. It's like the Trojan horse.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what it is. You guys ever seen Troy? Or if you ever read the Greek mythology, it's like hiding in the Trojan horse.
You present the gift. But you have your enemies inside that horse.
Okay. I need help. The person I'm dumped has a house but refuses to leave and not pay rent. Going to okay. The person I dumped has a house. What? But refuses to leave and not pay rent. Um, I mean, Med, when it boils down to legal matters, the best thing to do is to speak with a lawyer. A lawyer is the best that I could give you because I can't give legal advice, but that would be the best thing to do. Why do they think we are their enemy? Because they look at us as weak. Because we possess certain characteristics and certain traits that they don't. And because we don't need to utilize manipulative behaviors to obtain something that we want, yet they do, they're basically looking at us because they're notoriously envious of other people. They envy other people. They're jealous of other people. So usually if you hear them saying things like, "Oh yeah, this person's jealous of me. That person's jealous of me. That person wishes they could be me." And it's usually the opposite. They want to be that person. They're jealous of that person. Robert, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get it, hun. You deserve it. You'll get it. Trust me, God is good. God is good. She said I was cheating because I liked the female friends' pictures. No commenting on them. That's usually, I mean, that's insecurity. It's insecurity. Listen, if you if you are consistent with the person that you're with, you're consistent in helping to maintain the relationship and creating that sustainability in your relationship, that you're fulfilling your relationship first. This is something I want you to understand. In a relationship, your focus should be first on your relationship. Okay? That should be that. Social media has made it extremely easy for people to be tempted, for people to dive into temptation, to, commit infidelity. I'm not blaming social media because social media has nothing to do with it, but people have abused social media in effort to do these things. Okay? So when it boils down to there's a difference between giving reassurance and someone being codependent, a huge difference. But if your lady or your man is, sitting willing to communicate with you to express their feelings about situations that they feel they need to speak with you about, you need to be open in an understanding and communicating with your partner. If you have been fulfilling your relationship and you have been fulfilling your part in your relationship, and your person is making you feel adequate and you're making your person feel adequate, and you decide to like someone's picture, then guess what? There's no room for insecurity because that person knows their position in your life. But people who are manipulative, if your attention is not primarily focused on them and you are liking someone else's picture, or you are, commenting, whatever the case may be, which is, it's just so damn stupid with that, which is primarily why I don't do relationships in social media. I really don't do it. But, you know, if they come to you acting out or acting stupid or whatever the case may be, oh, you're cheating because you like to put, that's just clear cut insecurity. Clear cut insecurity, and at the end of the day, it's do unto others what you want done to you. Okay? So, with manipulators, a lot of the time they're just pretty much telling on themselves. They're feeling some kind of way because your attention is being diverted. You're, even for a split second. But I will tell you guys though, and I'll make this clear. I'm not a fan of, you have a lady at home and you have someone that you're with and you're liking very raunchy shit that is, deemed inappropriate. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not going to deny that either. Okay? I'm not going to deny that either. And I've told plenty of my male friends the same thing. I've explained to them, you know, how would you like it if your woman liked a man's picture with his hanging out? Okay? If his thing was hanging out and he was, had a sexy body, and meantime, you got a beer gut, how would you like that? You wouldn't like that. It wouldn't really make you feel good, would it? No, so don't do it. That's what I would tell my friends. Crown says codependency is enabling behaviors, no boundaries, high threshold to abuse. Yes, it is. And I suffered it for 36 years. Yeah, I mean it's not about being insecure, guys. Insecurity is within all of us. We all have insecurity issues. We all had it at some point. And even to this day, we may still have a couple of issues within ourselves. But at the end of the day, do unto your mate what you would want your mate to do with you. Now, if you are doing it just because you're trying to see if that person cares, or if you're doing it because you want to see if that person will react, that is manipulation. Okay? That's mind games. That is playing games. That's playing with fire. Don't do that. Don't do that. If it's an appropriate type of picture, if it's a friend of yours, if whatever. But inappropriateness, nah, I'm not a fan of it. I will not condone it and I will not support it. But um what do you think about double life marriage? Can you be a little more specific? Like, is it a spouse living a double life? I mean, just a little more. So he has a kid, he's gonna keep. They only seek out the strongest and the brightest of lights. If not, you have nothing to offer. I mean, that's it's like 50-50. It's like 50-50 because not every single narcissist or narcissistic person, if you look at like the new supply, or if you look at the kind of people they go for, because they go for people who are people pleasers. They go for the kind of people, granted, the grandiose ones, they'll go for the ones that'll make them look good. They'll go for the ones who can keep them in the spotlight. Hold on. They'll go for the ones who can, really keep them in the spotlight and make them look good in front of other people. But they, most of the time, like the vulnerable types of narcissists, they go for the people pleasers. They go for the ones who will bend over backwards and, who pretty much can't say no, who like to help people, who like to contribute, who like to be, like that are like caregivers, because that level of supply is pretty much okay. I'm getting all of these different attributes, these different resources from you. And because you got to think about it too, guys, you have people who are in the spotlight, you have people who are pretty much up there in the high ranking, and again, grandiose narcissists like those types of people, because those types of people are, like business minded, goal oriented. They have their finances like in straight order. They could be materialistic. You have people who could be materialistic. They like the finer things in life. They like to travel. They like, expensive food and clothing and so forth and so on. But a lot of them go for more so go for the people pleasing type. Okay. Because the people pleasers are the ones who can be walked over. So even though you can't contribute to them fully on a financial level, you can contribute to them based on attention and admiration and, just the kind gestures and the different services that you can provide for them. That's a lot of what they go for. Yeah, Thick Mama, they eventually, I mean, they don't really anticipate you even really finding out if that trauma bond is it's strong enough. If it's strong enough, they don't really anticipate you walking away from them, because they figure, all they got to do is that trauma bond is going to be linked to you. But, I mean, listen, God will break a cord that's not good for you. That's the way I see it. Hold on 1 second. Just want to make sure I don't forget anybody, because I think I saw someone. Cedric, I was liking their pictures because they were finally smiling after what they have been through. then yeah, I mean, listen, you know, and if that's something that you can have a conversation, a cordial conversation with them and say, listen, this person was going through something, and I like the picture because they were experiencing something and they're smiling. Now, if your partner is understanding to that, then great, you guys have good communication skills. However, if it's just any little thing and your partner's like, oh, but you like this person's picture, and if they're making, that's just really petty behavior. That's extremely petty behavior. Why are they good runners and don't take accountability? Well, they're good runners because they usually manage to clean up their tracks. They manage to clean up their tracks. So if they've discarded the victim prior to discarding, officially discarding the victim, they've already set the scene with regards to the stories that they've already told other people and the situations that they've already, planted the seeds in those people's head. So often victims who end up getting discarded, they end up feeling shame and they don't really talk about it. So they don't expose these people. They don't really, and if they try to, a lot of the time, the people who've already been manipulated about the whole circumstance, about what happened, they don't believe them. They don't believe them. So they end up, the victims end up looking like, you know, crazy because they're being reactive towards the manipulator's triangulation or the attempts to, get reactions from the victim. And every time the victim reacts towards whatever it is that the narcissist is doing, it's pretty much validating what the narcissist had already planted in their heads. He spends less time, even days, don't call or text, blames me. That's deflection. That's deflection. So if he's doing, I mean, again, I listen. It's a double-edged sword, and this is why I say that because I don't know your situation. If someone is being, you know, toxic or what have you, because you don't have to just be a narcissist to be a toxic person, okay, guys? But if your side is, like we're gonna just for argument's sake say that there was really nothing wrong on your side, okay, and he's doing his own thing or what have you. Deflection is usually when if a manipulator is doing something that they really shouldn't be doing, they know they should not be doing it, and they're being questioned about it, eventually they end up getting caught doing it. They're pretty much shifting the blame onto another individual. Okay. So if he's not calling, he's not texting you for days at a time. I mean, I don't know the circumstance. I don't know, what the situation was. But often in a narcissist case, they may disappear days or weeks at a time and then come back. And then they may have like outlandish stories or reasons as to why they disappeared. Okay. They they do what's called, a lot of people have heard of word salad, right? Where they're just pretty much uttering a whole bunch of nonsense or taking just random sentences and putting them together that make absolutely no sense. And in effort to confuse you, you just kind of you get frustrated and you get fed up to the point that you're like, all right, I don't even want to know anymore. I don't even care anymore because you're just done. You're like, okay, just forget it. I don't want to hear it. Just forget it. But if you're in a relationship with someone and you have an established relationship and they are not contacting you for days, first and foremost, listen, do you have to be on the phone every single day? No, you don't. But communication is important in a relationship, even if it's just, a couple of texts throughout the day. I mean, sometimes people are busy, sometimes people have things to do. We get that. I get it. I understand it. I work two jobs. I work 9 to 5 at one job and 5 to midnight at another job. But I still make time. We make time for the people that we want to talk to. So if you are dealing with someone who is periodically just, I guess ghosting, not ghosting, but periodically disappearing, that is a red flag. That is a problem. Yes. When I tried to hold him accountable, he would ignore me for a few days and then say, because you were, yeah, yeah, I lied to you because, well, this actually is just an excuse when they say I lied to you because I didn't want to hurt you. But I like, for example, I put my hands on you. I beat you because, you kept yelling at me or you pushed me to do it. I cheated on you because you weren't giving it to me and I had to go somewhere else to get it. It's always going to, it'll start with them, but it'll end with you. Yes, the blaming game, deflection. He used to come to he used to come to me after weeks, say he needed time alone. I feel stupid taking him back all the time. You know, this is why I said, guys, if someone comes to you and says, you know what, we need to take a break. We need to take a break from us. We need to take a break. We need to take a break. Listen, if that person is not in medical school trying to get a freaking, MD license, whatever the hell it is, I'm already getting there.
PhD.
No, PhD in psychology.
You can get
M
PhD in medical.
That's psychiatry. This to get
MD.
MD, yeah. But if it's just, he or she wants to break away from you, I need a break from you. You want a break? There's the door. But don't bother coming back. Don't bother coming back. Because at the end of the day, you either work through your problems or you just get to a point that you no longer have problems. But anyone who's talking about, I want to take a break, is probably someone, I'm not going to say everyone, but if you're dealing in situations like this, they want to take a break because something tickled their fancy. Something tickled their fancy and they want to kind of touch it a little bit to see how it feels. Yeah, Jan. I mean, I couldn't say for sure, but at the end of the day, only you would know better because you know your situation. And to sit there and say I want to take a break from you, especially if you don't, like, guys, if you've been contributing and you've been loving and kind and doing all kinds of stuff, and they're still talking about I want to take a break from you, that's a red flag. I'm sorry, it's a red flag. You're not given any reason. If you're not showing any severe cases of toxicity or abuse or anything like that, and that's all, I just want to, all right, all right. I had no self respect. I took him now, even after leaving me to go to Thailand. Yeah, Jan, listen, there's a difference between love and attachment, okay? There's a difference between love and attachment, just so you understand. Being attached to something, being attached to someone will make you do things. Again, cognitive dissonance, okay? It'll make you do things that are no good for you. That's what addiction is. That's what addiction is. If someone is addicted to alcohol, it's not healthy for them. You can die from alcohol poisoning. You can die from this. But you continuously drink it because it's giving you gratification at that moment that you're consuming it. Okay? Addiction, attachment, and simply what it is. You're addicted to alcohol. You're addicted to drinking. You don't love it, but you're addicted to it. That's why you consistently, because your body is yearning for it. And when it stops, same thing with drugs, same thing with cigarettes. When your body stops getting it, it starts to react impulsively, which is where you're going through withdrawals because your body is craving it. Love doesn't make you do that. Love does not make you do that. Yeah, Norma. I find the verbal abuse to be more stemming from people. someone or people in that person's life, probably when they were growing up throughout their childhood, who was very verbally abusive towards them. Very verbally abusive towards them. Mm. Well, Jen, your confidence, if you leave your confidence in the hands of other people, yeah, it will be destroyed. It will be destroyed. Okay? Your confidence was never supposed to be put into anyone else's hands. Your confidence is supposed to stay in your own hands. Okay? Which is why they try to undermine your confidence. They try to pretty much they try to pretty much bring you down so low that you don't feel good about yourself. So they pretty much want to bring you to their level, and they want you to feel the way they feel about themselves. They want you to feel that same way. Okay? So it would be time for you to pretty much say to yourself, okay, I know what I deserve. I deserve better than this treatment. That's where it starts, guys. It starts when you realize you deserve better than the treatment that they're giving you. Okay? When you realize that you deserve better, that's when you start to back off. You start to take your power back. Okay? The only thing that's holding people, a lot of people who feel that they cannot let go, is fear. Fear. That's all it is. It's simply that, fear. And if you continue to allow fear to dictate how you maneuver in your life, it'll get worse over time. Okay? It's not, believe it or not, guys, it's not hard. It really, it's hard, yes, in an aspect of, because your mind is trying to regain control of itself. Your emotions are trying to regain control. But once you start to realize certain things, you actually begin to find how easy it is to kind of say, okay, yeah, no, you don't deserve me. Look at how you're doing this. Look at how you're doing that. Look at how you're treating me. And yet, I got people, because a lot of you are beautiful. A lot of you are beautiful. Fellas, a lot of you are good looking men too. Okay? And no, it's not just about looks, but utilize utilize that to help boost yourselves up. If these people can walk around with their egos and be like, "Oh, I'm fly, I'm the shit, I'm this, I'm that." Use your confidence to do the same thing. Because the difference between you and them, you don't got to shit on other people for other people to realize how freaking awesome you are. You don't have to do that. Oh, yeah. Guys. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, it's guys, my ex narcissist used to hate when I was looking good. That's because they don't want you to outshine them. They don't want you to outdo them. They don't want you to, again, it depends on the kind that you're dealing with. The grandiose ones do not want you to outshine them. Okay? Those are the extroverted ones. They want the spotlight. They want the spotlight. They want to be the only one. They want to be the only one who can outshine everybody else. The vulnerable ones, they look at it more like you're looking good, people are going to start to notice you. That brings them more insecurity. That brings them more insecurity. I have to do I'm going to do another video. I'm going to delve more into covert narcissists because I know a lot of you have dealt with them. Oh yeah. Yeah, sassy. Yeah, coverts are very, very hard. They're more behind the scenes. They're more, I'll treat you like dirt behind the scenes. And that's pretty much how the trauma bonding comes into place, because they'll treat you like dirt when you're in private, but then when you're out in public, they're loving on you like they never loved on you before. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how they are, because if you notice, you'll notice a shift in their personality when, excuse me, when you're out in public or if you're around certain people, you'll see a complete difference. You'll see a complete difference in their personality because they're around people that they find to be, that maybe admire them, people who are very interactive with them, people who enable them. They could be around anyone. But then when the night's all said and done and you guys are heading back home, you're right back to where you started at before you guys even went out. I'm gonna do more work on, and guys, because YouTube only gives me 3 minutes to post a video. Okay, they only give me 3 minutes to post a video, so I have to, if I do a 10-minute video and give you details of narcissistic abuse, covert narcs, overt, vulnerable, cerebral, what have you, I can only bring it down to 3 minutes, which is why I put, if you want the full video, go to the YouTube channel and watch it on there. Because on YouTube, my videos are more extended. It gives you more details of the information. It's kind of hard to, especially when I want to put like really important factors, like, TikTok, up it up a little bit, but they only give us 3 minutes. So if you guys want more extended videos, I mean, I have a lot on YouTube, a lot. You guys can go through them, as many as you want. From even way back when I first started the channel, it gives you so much detail. I have videos on malignant narcissists, cerebral, somatic narcissists, covert narcissists, overts. That was my phone letting me know you got to go. But I have so many videos on so many different types. Narcissist mother, father, scapegoats, you name it. Why they don't hoover, signs you're dealing with them. There's just so many of them. So, when you have a chance, definitely go through them. And, if you swing by, if you happen to subscribe, just, comment under one of the videos, just to let me know that you were there. And I'll be more than glad to shout you out. It's the support for me. But definitely check out those videos, because I think I even got the female sociopath. I got 2 videos of the female sociopath. The scapegoat children of narcissist mothers, sons of narc mothers, and it's just so many of them. I cover so many different bases. So I definitely, yeah, Sassy, being a scapegoat and being the golden child, doesn't matter how many kids there are. If there's one child, there's usually back and forth behavior. So trust me, I know what it is to be scapegoat. I know, Spicy. I know it does. And guys, oh, before I go, I wanted to let you guys know. I've been doing, my lives. Now I know I'm tired. I've been doing group meetings, okay? It's been on Zoom, but I'm going to be switching it over to Skype because Skype gives us a little bit more time. Just recently, I did a group Zoom meeting with the men and the women, separate meetings, and they turned out awesome. They really turned out awesome. Very, very just sweet, funny, caring people. If you're interested in joining the group meetings, please be sure to email me, narcsurvival101@gmail.com. I'll send you the calendar of the meetings. I'll send you the calendar of the different scheduled meetings. I do one-on-one meetings as well. However, those are only twice a month. So the group meetings are more frequent. I'm trying to see if I can do more one-on-ones with you guys. But in the meantime, because I have to keep track of my schedule, for the month of March, I am booked up, but for April, I will see if I can set up any one-on-ones. But again, it's a group chat meeting with people who have all been in the same boat as you and are looking for that support system. All right. So again, narcsurvival101@gmail.com. If you want to join the meetings, send me the email and I'll, give you some details on what it is it's about. All right. My lovely people, my battery is dying and I actually have to get ready for bed. because I'm old. My back is killing me. But I had to be here with you guys. I had to be here. I had to be here for you guys. If I did not get to answer your questions, I apologize. Um, I will be back next week, Wednesday. Next week, Wednesday, I will be back 8 o'clock, same time, same place. If anything changes, I will be sure to let everybody know. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you so much for talking to each other. I see you guys talking to each other, interacting. Thank you for the love, for the gifts, you guys. Oh my gosh. Just so you know, I appreciate the gifts. I so appreciate the gifts. But just you being here and just showing support, that's gift enough for me, guys. It really, really is. You guys are really awesome. You guys are all beautiful. You guys deserve love. You deserve happiness. You deserve all that good stuff, guys. You know it. Okay? Let the people hate. Let the haters hate. Okay? Let them drink their haterade and continue being the awesome people that you are. Continue doing what you do best. Showing empathy, showing love, being the cool, awesome people that you truly are. Don't let these people dissuade you. Don't let them have you thinking that you don't deserve love, because trust me, that is farthest from the truth. It truly is. All right. My beautiful people, I hope to see you guys here next week. Again, I'll be here 8 o'clock. If there's anything you would like for me to discuss in next week's live, please send me a message and I'll be able to write it down, notate it down, so I know for those who want it. I'll be more than glad to discuss it in next week's live. All right. Or if you have any other suggestions, or if you just need someone to talk to, send me an email. Send me an email. Okay. I'm here, guys. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. And a bunch of little trolls ain't going to stop me either. All right, guys. So much love to you all. I hope you all have a beautiful night. I hope you all have a beautiful remainder of your week. If you're interested in the Zoom meetings, the group meetings, shoot me an email. We have one coming up on the 20th, which is on a Sunday. So if you are interested, please shoot me an email and I will be more than glad to give you the information. All right, guys, have a beautiful night. Have a great remainder of your week. Love, peace, blessings, God's protection, all that good stuff. You already know how it goes. Love you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you next week. Good night.